Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. You know, people are always asking me, I want to use the PLO Matrix, but how do I exploit with it? Well, Sonny, I've got the answer for you here, so let's take a look. Let me make this a little bigger for my old eyes. There we go. So, the first main way they exploit with the PLO Matrix is to expand your range around the edges. So, let's look at like small blind versus button. We have king king single suited. So the way you can exploit, let's say a player who's opening too wide or a bad player who you want to get in the mix with heads up, is you start to expand your range around the edges. So you take like king king queen 3 good suit, you start 3-betting that, like king king 9-4. So what this does is it's like a safe way to expand to strong hands, because if you start going crazy and just, oh, I'm going to 3-bet every king king against this bad player because I want to play pots with him, what happens is you expose yourself to getting 4-bet by the big blind, or to get 4-bet by the button themselves. Like, even bad players will start to get frustrated if you go crazy. So a safe way to exploit them is just to expand slightly around the edges, so you can pick up some extra EV without exposing yourself to counter exploitation. Now, the next way to exploit with the matrix is you look at, let's say, a different position. So let's say we're small blind versus a cutoff open, and we look at ace king. So this is how we play our range. We raise these hands, call these with ace king single suited. But let's say the cutoff is too wide, like we have in our HUD stats. He's opening 35-40% from the cutoff. Well, if we look at small blind versus button, so we go to a looser range, we can see how the solver and the matrix plays against a looser range. So we could use this range to exploit a loose cutoff, because this is like the perfect balanced range against a wider. This is like 50% for the button. But if the cutoff is a loose player, we can use this to play perfectly against their looser range. So those are the two ways to exploit with the matrix, but there's one thing, and I'm going to be really serious here, that you guys need to remember. You need to remember to be reasonable and think about what you're doing. Let's say you're expanding against a bad player, like let's say small blind versus button. And then we look at our double suited, let's say 10-8. This doesn't mean like 3-bet 10-8 6-5 double suited or 10-8 5-4. Don't go crazy doing this. What you want to do is expand with hands that make sense against that player. So if they're too wide, you can punish them by 3-betting more high card hands, because usually wide players are loose. They don't have much of a folding range against your 3-bet. So hands that rely on folds, like more double suited lower hands, those hands aren't going to do as well. So expand around like the ace king region. Don't go crazy down here in the low double suited region. And that was my reminder. And so we have the two ways. I'll reiterate them. First way, expand around the edges of your range. Second way is look how the solver plays against, let's say, a wider or tighter range, to see how you can play perfectly against someone who isn't playing optimally. And remember to always think about it. So, guys, thank you, and good luck. Oh, one last thing before I go. Before I get back to my novel here. If you guys want more information, head over to PLOmatrix.com. Have a good evening.